Hello everybody, welcome to Saturday Core and Recovery. Hopefully you guys watched the NASA and SpaceX rocket launch right before this. That was pretty frickin' exciting. Yeah, I'm in a good mood after watching that. If you are currently watching through my website, please go ahead and click on the video. That will take you to YouTube, and then go ahead and just comment in the comment box your name, maybe a funny joke, maybe how you're doing today. That way I know who's participating in my class today. We'll get started in about 5 minutes. It's a great opportunity to grab your setup. If you have a yoga mat, that works great. If not, grab a towel, or maybe you have like plush shag carpet. You can work out on that if you'd like. If you've got some yoga blocks, that can be helpful. Any weight, probably like 10 pounds max, maybe 15 if you're really strong and want to work out today. And then a chair as well, just in case you want to modify some of the exercises that I teach today, okay? Again, if you are watching through the website, please go ahead and click on that video. That will take you to YouTube, and then comment in the comment section your name so I know who is participating today. What's up, Danae? How's it going? Is it just you, or is your dad gonna join as well? Hey Rachel, welcome, welcome. I just realized I had the wrong title underneath the Love Gym logo. It's Core and Recovery, not Core and Calisthenics today. Did either of you watch the SpaceX launch of the Dragon this afternoon? Yeah, that was so exciting. Well, thank you for joining today. I appreciate that. My mom showed me the video that you made of the, was it like the life resume or something, like the resume that you bring to your parents' house? Nice. Welcome, Uncle Dave. Dave, did you watch the spaceship launch that just happened? The NASA and SpaceX collaboration? Hey AJ, welcome. It's like your 30th gold star. Congratulations. If anyone is just tuning in now through my website, if you wouldn't mind just clicking on the video, that will take you to YouTube, and then go ahead and comment in the comment section your name so I know who is participating today. Thank you, Danae, Rachel, AJ, and David for doing that already. Cool. We'll get started in about a minute. Want to give any last stragglers a chance to join. For today's class, like usual, you'll need a mat, maybe some yoga blocks. If you have a towel, a strap, a broom, or some sort of stick of weight, that can work for one of the exercises we'll do today. That'll make more sense when we get to it. And then for some of the exercises that we're doing on our hands, if you have sensitive wrists or arms, I would have a chair ready as well, just so that you can modify if need be. Okay? Great. I'll make the announcement one last time. If you are watching through my website, please click on the video. That will take you to YouTube. Then comment in the comment section your name so I know that you're here. All right, let's go ahead and get started then. All right, we'll go ahead and start with our regular mobility routine. We'll change it up a little bit. I have another warm-up exercise that'll be new for most of you. So we'll start with our ankle mobility drill. You're going to hug your right leg in towards your chest. I'll give you another angle like that. And we're going to start making nice, slow circles with the ankle. Make those as big as possible. And go nice and slow. Good. Let's reverse directions. Looks like someone had a question. Is a kettlebell okay for the weight? Yes. Depends on the weight of the kettlebell. Some of the exercises I'd recommend probably 10 to 15 pounds of additional weight. Anything more than that, it's going to get very difficult. Good. Let's go ahead and switch over the other leg. Left foot, ankle circles, nice and slow. Good. Switch directions. And good. All right, for the hip mobility rotations that we do, I'm going to show you two versions. So if this is your first time doing them, or if you feel like you're still a little shaky on them, stick with the normal version on all fours. If you want to try something a little bit more advanced, I'll show that after and you can try it, okay? So for the hip rotations, I like to put a block or something else of a similar size and shape on my back like this. This will prevent me from moving my spine. It'll help me isolate just the hip. So I'm going to start with the right leg. I'm going to bring the knee in towards the chest, knee out to the side, kick up and back, and then bring the knee back through center. Okay. Now as I do this, I'm keeping nice firm core engagement. The more stable I am in the other parts of my body, the more mobile I will be able to be in my hip. Okay, so that's the first version. You can go through 5 rotations and then reverse, kicking up and back to reverse, then out to the side through center. Okay. If you want the more advanced version, if you've been in this class for a little while and you want to try it, I will show you. You can use a wall or maybe a broom, a stick, anything to hold on to just support yourself. So again, keep everything nice and tight, core engaged, legs engaged. I'm going to start with my right foot, cross it over my body. So it's crossing midline. I'm going to bring that foot up, externally rotating the hip. Okay, bring it up as high as it'll go. Then I'm going to rotate so my foot points straight down. Continue to rotate as I bring my leg out to the side, back to neutral. And then you reverse it. Kick up and back, then out to the side, rotate, externally rotate, bring the foot to an imaginary line here, bring it down. Okay, I'll show that on the other side. So this is if you've been in this class for a few times now and you want to take it up a notch, okay? And notice how nothing else in my body is moving as I'm doing this. I'm just isolating the hip, okay? So I bring my left foot up an imaginary line there, as high as it'll go. Internally rotate, knee out to the side, leg behind, and then reverse, kick up and back, out to the side, rotate, 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 and then down. Okay? So I'll give you a chance, give you a few minutes to go through those. You can do them on the ground like I originally showed. 5 rotations, then a reverse, 5 rotations, switch to the other leg, 5 rotations, reverse, 5 rotations. Or you can do the standing version. I would do maybe 3, right? And then switch to the other leg, okay? I'll give you about a minute to do that. I'll just go through and do both versions again. So if it's a little confusing, you have something to watch, okay? Good. Finish up with 1 or 2 more rotations, and then we'll move on to the next set of mobility drills. Feel free to ask a question at any point. You can just do that in the comment section, and then there's a little bit of a delay. I'll respond to it when I see it. All right, moving right along. Let's go ahead and start working with the shoulders. For this, you can be on your knees like I am. You can be up here, or you can be standing, whatever is most comfortable for you, okay? So I'm going to start with my right arm. I'm going to externally rotate, so my palm faces away from my body, opens up. Arm cuts across the body. Elbow stays straight. Bring my bicep up by my ear, okay? Now this part is crucial. So I don't want to rotate my thoracic rib cage or my spine at all. I'm going to internally rotate the shoulder. So now my palm faces away from my face. Bicep is still close to the ear. I'm going to start reaching back, continuing to rotate in like this, right? Reaching back, reaching back, reaching back. It will end with my palm facing away from my body, my shoulder completely internally rotated. Now I reverse, okay? So I lead with the thumb. Once I can't go any further, I allow the arm to unwind, bicep back up by the ear, palm facing in towards the face. Arm cuts across the body as I externally rotate the shoulder and return to the starting position. Okay, so let's do that together. We'll go through 3 times. Externally rotate, arm cuts across the body, bicep up by the ear, internally rotate, palm faces away from the face, reach back, don't move the spine. Reach back and rotate, rotate, rotate. Good, and reverse. Lead with the thumb, lift as high as you can, unwind, bicep by the ear, palm facing the face. Arm cuts across the body. All right, 2 more. Good. 1 more. All right. Good. Let's do the left arm. Open. Arm cuts across the body. Bicep up by the ear. Internally rotate the arm. Palm faces away from the body. Reach back. Continue to rotate. Reverse. Lead with the thumb. Unwind. Bicep up by the ear. Arm cuts across the body. 2 more times. Good. Shake that out. Hey, Evie and her roommates. Welcome. Welcome. We're just finishing up our mobility routine, and then we will get into the core portion of the class. Thank you for joining. I'm all excited after that missile launch. That was so cool. All right. We're going to do some work for our scapula now. If you've been in the class before, you might have done these with me. So we're going to be on all 4s. What we want to do here is we want to keep the spine one piece. Okay, we're going to keep the arms straight. We're going to retract the scapula, so we're going to squeeze them together. At the same time, our spine is going to drop a little bit towards the floor. Okay? Now we're going to protract the scapula, which means they're going to slide around and forward on the rib cage. So I'm going to press the floor away with my arms, lifting my spine. Okay, so we just go through those 2 movements. Retract and protract. Retract and protract. Good. If that feels good, staying there with knees under hips, shoulders over wrists, I would say go for maybe 10 to 12 of these. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, walk the knees back so you're in a modified push-up position and try it from there. If you want more of a challenge, go into a plank. I would call these scapula push-ups. Good. Nice. Shake that out. Shake that out. Cool. I'm going to adjust the camera real quick. All right. For this next exercise, we're going to start standing. I would stand at the bottom of your mat. You can just watch one time if you'd like. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the chin, slowly roll down the spine, keeping a soft little bend in the knees, okay? I'm going to fold all the way over. From here, I'm going to bring my hands to the floor. I'm going to walk out to a plank position, okay? Then I'm going to step my right foot to the outside of my right hand. Now, if you don't have the mobility or the flexibility to get it right there, bring it as far forward as you can, and then use your arm to help you get it to the front. I'm going to then twist and rotate into that leg, bringing the other hand up in the air. Hand back down, step back, left foot to the outside of left hand, rotate into the leg, replace the hand, back to plank, press myself back, and then roll up. Okay? Let's go through maybe like 3 or 4 of those. We can do those together. So start standing, drop the chin, roll down the spine, soft little bend in the knees. Hands to the floor, walk out to a plank. Right foot outside right hand, twist. Good. Back to plank. Other side, twist. Good. Back to plank. Press yourself back. It's fine to have your knees bent here. And then roll back up the spine. And again, roll down the spine. Really let gravity pull you down here. Good. Walk out to plank. Right leg forward, twist. Back to plank. Left leg forward, twist. Back to plank. Press yourself back. Roll up. Nice. Let's do one more. On your own time. Rolling down the spine. Walk out to plank. Right foot forward, twist. Back to plank. Left forward, twist. Back to plank. Press yourself back. And roll up. Very nice. Take a second, get a drink of water. If you don't have water, grab some. All right, we're gonna start a class, or I guess the core portion of our class with some exercises that we do every class. These, I would say, are practices. These are things that you should do almost every time you work out, just to keep yourself healthy, to start learning the neurological pathways that control the core and how they relate to other parts of the body. So, dead bugs, the best core exercise ever. You're going to be on your backs for the dead bugs. If you already know how to do these, go ahead and do whatever version you like. 16 to 20, maybe 20 to 25. AJ, I expect at least 70, okay? And I want you to videotape it and send it to me. All right. It's going to look like this. Knees and arms pointing straight up in the air. Suck the belly button down and in, bracing the core. You're going to inhale, open shoulders and hips, maintaining core integrity. Hands and feet hover an inch from the floor. And then you exhale, bring everything back to center. Okay? Inhale, open. Exhale, close. So that's the motion. If that feels good for you, do 15 to 20. If you want to regress it, make it a little easier. Arms by your side. Just practice the hips. Okay? If you want to make it harder, extend the legs at the bottom of the exercise. The lower the legs to the floor, the harder it will be to keep that core engaged. Okay? So you can try 45 degrees. That's a nice medium. Okay? 15 to 20 on your own count. Begin. Good. Finish up with a few more and then relax. I'm going to give my lovely girlfriend Angelique this weight. She likes to use it when she takes the class. All right, dead bug number 2. This looks exactly like dead bug number 1, except that it's contralateral. That means opposite limbs. So it'll be right arm with left leg, back to center, right leg, left arm, back to center. Let's give that a shot. 16 to 20 on your own count. Begin. All right, looks like there was a question. Keep going on your own. Ooh, I like there's some competition in the chat right now. That's good. Let's see. Cool. Good. Finish up with 1 or 2 more, and then we'll move on to our next exercise. My uncle asked if I'm going back to the restaurant. I know California just announced that restaurants will be opening soon. I don't think so. I'm done with food service. Hopefully I can make this a full-time thing. All right. The next exercise, this is, I guess, the equivalent of a dead bug, but this works on the posterior chain, the back muscles, the glutes, the hamstrings. These are our glute bridges, okay? So you can be on your back again. You should just be able to reach down and touch your heels with your fingers, okay? I'll show you 3 different versions for this. Version 1, you're gonna brace your core, you're gonna squeeze your glutes, drive your hips up into the air, and then back down, okay? That's version 1, up and down, completely symmetrical. Version 2, you're going to bridge up. You're going to stabilize your hips. Extend one leg, put it back down. Extend the other leg, put it back down. Hips to the floor. Show that again. This is version 2. Hips up, extend, extend, and down. Version 3, up on one leg, then switch, down. Up on one leg, switch, down. So those are the 3 versions. Also, if you have a weight, you can put the weight on your hips, right? Try driving up. Good. Let's do 16 to 20 of these on your own count. Make sure you're breathing. Exhale as you bridge up. Inhale as you come down. Good. Finish up with 3 or 4 more, or however many you have left, and then we'll move on. All right, we're going to start building the momentum, building a little bit of heat here. AJ said, I killed all the bugs. Whenever I think of dead bugs, I always think of, there's an episode of Friends where Phoebe changes her name, and then her boyfriend, I think it's Paul Rudd, changes his name, and he's like, "My name's Crap Bag." If you can't imagine it, just picture a bag of, you know, when dead bugs is the same thing. If you can't remember it, just picture a dead bug. All right. I don't know why my brain always makes that association. All right, feet up in the air, knees slightly bent. These are toe touches. You're going to exhale, reach up, touch your toes, back down to the mat. If these are too hard, just slide halfway up your shin and then back down. Okay? Make sure to control the way up just as much as the way down. Let's go for 15 to 20. Exhale up, inhale down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Arms overhead, legs long. Stretch, 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 stretch. While you're stretching, I will show you the next exercise. I'll give you a few different versions. Version 1, hands behind the head. Contralateral exercise, meaning opposite limbs. Right elbow, left knee, back down. Left elbow, right knee, back down. That's version 1. Version 2, arms by your sides, reaching up, touching your opposite toe. Left hand, right foot, back down. Right hand, left toe, back down. Version 3, legs extended, hovering off the floor. Chest off the floor, touching opposite limbs. All right, show those again. Version 1. Version 2. Version 3. All right, let's go for 16 to 20. I just did a few, so I'm going to rest while you start doing yours. Yeah. That's the thing about teaching a live class. It's different from a normal class. In an in-person class, I usually demonstrate the exercise, then walk around and correct people. With a live class, I have to do all the exercises myself, too. Good. Finish up with however many you have left, and then stretch out, arms overhead, legs long. Good. Let's go ahead and sit up. We're going to do one more dynamic core exercise, and then we'll switch it up a little bit, give the front of our body a break. All right, Russian twists. If you have a fuzzy hat, now's the time to grab it. For Russian twists, 3 versions. Version 1, knees bent, heels on the floor. Lifting the chest, torso nice and straight. Lean back to the point where your heels want to pop off the floor. Okay? Hands together, twist side to side. That's version 1. Version 2, lower leg parallel with the floor, twist, twist. Version 3, try to extend the legs, twist, twist. Okay? With any of these versions, you can add weight. You could use a water bottle. You could use a kettlebell. Yeah. Choose your version. Let's go for about 20 to 30 of these. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Done. I just got exponentially sweatier from putting this on, but it was worth it. All right, take a quick breather, catch your breath, drink some water. All right, while you're resting, I'm going to demonstrate the next exercise for you. Change the camera angle here. So for this one, if you want, you can use a towel, a broom. I have a weight stick here that'll work. Let's see, is there a question? Rachel says, yes, the Russian hat was worth it. When I studied in Moscow, I only bought one souvenir. When I went, I told myself, I'm going to come back with the fuzziest, biggest hat I can find. That's the only thing I bought. It was well worth it. I had to haggle in Russian. It was great. All right. So for this next exercise, this is going to be a single leg deadlift. So I'm going to be up nice and tall. I'm going to start by transferring my weight into my left foot. All right, so my right leg is free. I'm going to keep a slight bend in the left leg as I hinge forward, kicking the right leg back. Okay? I may only need to go to here and then back up. Okay, so that would be version 1. Just leaning forward, back up. Version 2, try to go a little bit lower, right? I'm reaching forward with the crown of my head, reaching back with my right heel, soft bend in that left leg. I'm going a little bit further, and then back up. Okay, so that's version 2. Version 3, I'll demonstrate this angle. You're going to go forward, and then from here, you're going to shift your weight, your broom, your towel, whatever it is, side to side. All right, and then come back up. So what that's going to do is that's going to take the weight and force away from your midline, and it's going to force your hip and your ankle to really, really work and stabilize. All right, so choose your version. Let's go for 8 on each side. All right, starting with the left leg, kicking the right leg back, leaning forward. If you want, shift side, side, and then back up. When you come to neutral, make sure that your foot and your head are arriving at the same time, okay? Like a pair of scissors closing. All right. Remember, you don't have to go that far. If this is all you can go and feel comfortable, just go there. You're going to get the same benefits. I went on a bike ride yesterday. My quads are feeling it today. Whew. Yeah, let's do maybe 1 or 2 more on each leg. Good. Finish your 1 or 2 more, and then we'll move on. So that's a great exercise for hip and ankle stability. If you're going to go on a hike, maybe do a few of those before it. That'll kind of get everything working properly. We're going to switch it up now. We're going to start working on more isometric focused exercises. So isometric means that your muscles are staying the same length. Isometric actually, that's what it means, right? Same length, but they're under tension. So a plank would be a perfect example. We're going to do a few different modifications. Before we get into it, let's warm up our wrists because we'll be putting load through our wrists and our hands. Okay? Left hand, palm facing up. Right hand on top, fingers interlaced. Point the fingers down to the ground. Flip the wrists. Fingers down to the ground. Flip the wrists. Point down, flip, point down, and flip. And then try to make it nice and smooth, keeping the palms together. Good. Switch directions. Point the fingers up, then flip. Up, flip. This way always feels a little bit more awkward to me. Good. Shake that out. Hands out in front. Open the fingers as wide as they'll go. Then close them as tight as they'll go. Open, close, and then flash them back and forth. Feel free to move your shoulders around. You can do different positions. YMCA. Nice, keep going. This is like a baby when they want something, right? Like, good, shake that out. Good, good, good. All right. Moving into the first isometric exercise. This is beast pose. If you've been in my class before, you've definitely done beast pose. Shoulders stacking over wrists, knees stacking underneath hips, and then just bring them forward an inch or two. Okay? First thing I want to do is set my shoulders. So I don't want to be retracted. I don't want to be fully protracted. I want to be in a nice neutral. Okay? So go through that. Retract, protract, find neutral. I'm going to tuck my toes under. I'm going to suck my belly button up and in and think of driving my knees towards my arms. At the same time, I'm thinking of trying to pull my arms towards my knees. And then I lift my knees an inch off the floor and hold. All right, we'll hold this for 30 seconds so you can feel what beast pose is like. If you want a modification, if this is too much on your hands, what I would say is use a chair. You can be here. Okay? Or you could use yoga blocks. Right? That'll make it a little easier on the wrist and fingers. 10 more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and done. Good. Shake that out. We're going to get back into beast pose. This time we're going to practice our limb lifts. Same position. And without shifting weight, what we're going to try to do is you're going to try to lift one foot, put it back down, maybe lift the other foot, put it back down, lift a hand, put it back down, lift the other hand, put it back down. Good. And notice that I'm trying to keep my hips from shifting side to side. If I let my hips shift, I could do this all day, right? I could lift two. That's not the point. You want to keep your hips and shoulders exactly where they are. Force the core to do the stabilizing. You can also try doing opposite limbs at the same time. All right? Let's go ahead, try that for 30 seconds or maybe a little bit longer, lifting different limbs. Up. Make sure to keep breathing. Usually when people do planks, when I start training people and they do planks for the first time, it's like it's like they're underwater. Keep breathing, keep breathing. And done. Good. That's the worst thing you can do while holding a plank, is to hold your breath. And actually, the worst thing would be to have someone stand on top of you. All right. Next exercise. This is the counter pose to beast pose. This is crab pose. So for crab pose, we're going to have belly up, arms behind us. And let me show you the 3 modifications before you start getting into it. So first thing is the setup. Fingers are pointing away from my body. If that's hard on your wrist, try fingers out to the side. First thing I want to do is set the shoulders. Press my arms into the floor, drive my shoulder blades down the back. From here, lift the hips, tuck the chin back, lift the chest, and a slight tilt in the pelvis. So I'm lifting my pelvis towards my back, okay? So not cat, little bit of cow, okay? And then you hold. Make sure you keep driving those shoulders down the back. All right, so that's the full version. If you need to modify, I suggest using yoga blocks, Harry Potter books, dictionaries, a thesaurus. You can elevate the palms a little bit. If you need more of a modification, try doing it on a chair. All right, this is just as good, driving the shoulders down the back. All right, so let's choose your version. We'll go for 30 seconds, starting now. And while you're here, you can make it a little dynamic, right? If you want to shift around, see what it feels like to have your weight in different positions. It's like, oh, if my weight's back here, ooh, a lot more on my wrist. My hips are forward a little bit more. Ooh, that's easier on my wrists. A little more in the shoulders. Good. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shake that out, shake that out. We're going to rest for a little bit, and then we're going to go ahead and do what we did in beast pose with crab pose. So we'll practice limb lifts. All right, so from here, without shifting the weight side to side, try to lift a foot, try to lift the other foot, try to lift a hand, try to lift another hand. All right, so that's what the limb lifts will work. That works really with any of the modifications as well. Right, so if that feels hard for you, try it on the chair. Try lifting a foot, lift the other foot, maybe lift a hand, lift the other hand. Cool. 30 seconds, starting now. Maybe try a hand and a foot. Good. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and done. Good. All right. This is an extra credit move. If you want to try it, go for it. Otherwise, feel free to do some cat-cows, right? Just start slowing down a little bit, maybe do a spinal twist, okay? So feel free to start recovering a little bit, or if you want to do the bonus move, you can stick around and do the bonus move with me. So for this move, you're going to start in beast pose, okay? This is called a side kick through. Beast pose, crab pose, and what I'm about to teach you all come from something called animal flow, which is a movement system created by Mike Fitch. It's kind of a blend of yoga, capoeira, breakdancing, a lot of fun. So start in beast pose. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lift opposite limbs. I'm going to lift my left foot and my right arm and rotate so that left leg is kicking through, right? At the same time, I'm going to bring my right elbow back, hand towards the face, okay? And then I'm going to come back to beast pose. On the other side, lifting right foot, left hand, coming onto the full length of my left foot. Right foot kicks through, right hand by the face, elbow back, up onto the balls of my feet, back to beast pose. All right. You can also do this one on a chair. If you're here, opposite limbs. I would say actually put your hand in the middle of the chair so the chair doesn't tip over. Right, so if you want to practice that and you're not comfortable with the full version, try it there. Right, do a few of those. If you want even more extra credit, you add a little hop into it. So I jump, and then I jump. Right? So when I come back to here, what I'm doing is I'm instantly switching limbs. So right now my left foot, my right hand are not on the floor. Switch, kick through. Switch, kick through. All right, give that a shot. Nice. Cool. All right, let's start cooling down a little bit. Go ahead and shake out the arms. Let's go ahead and get into a nice wide-legged stance. Just cool down our hips a little bit. So knees wide, opening up towards the floor. Drop the right knee in towards midline. And then open it back up. Left knee in towards midline. Open. Looks like there was a question. Such little moves doing big things. Oh yeah. That's it. And good. Let's go ahead and sit your hips back onto your heels. I'm going to flip my palms so they face up. Lean forward, bring my fingers to the floor so they point back towards my body. And right now I'm shifting my weight forward. So what that does is that changes the angle on my wrist. It's not so extreme here. As I start to lean back, that's going to increase the angle right in my wrist. So fingers pointing back. Sit your hips back as far as you feel comfortable. You'll get a nice stretch in the back of the wrist. In this position, go ahead and press into the floor a little bit with your fingers. Good, and release. Shake that out, shake that out, shake that out. Nice. One more stretch to finish. Sitting on your heels if it's comfortable. You can do the standing as well. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Reach back, and then lift. Good. And release. Nice. Very good class, everyone. I trust that you did everything. I have a few announcements that I always make at the end of the class, so please stick with me. This class is donation-based, so I know times are tough right now. If you have a little extra to give, it's greatly appreciated. You can do that through the donate button on my website, thelovegym.org. There's a donate button on the homepage as well as the live page. Anything is greatly appreciated. Feel free to spread and share the love. If you see me post something, I really appreciate a share just so I can get the word out. Along those lines, I'm going to be doing over the next 2 weeks a little personal training session giveaway. I'll be giving away one free personal training session. The way you're going to enter into that pool is by taking the class and then take a video or photo of you doing one of the exercises that I taught in the class. Tag me on Instagram at PTDevin and use the hashtag #TheLoveGym. After 2 weeks, I'll go ahead and pick someone from the pool of people who've submitted. And you can submit as many times as you want if you really, really want that free personal training session. So yeah, feel free to do that if you want to get some good one-on-one time. Thank you again, everyone. Really appreciate it. I have another class tomorrow at 1. That's core and calisthenics. So you can think of it as this class, but the next step up. That one is through the Stronghold Climbing Gym. So I'm trying to get the link to work on my website. You may have to go there and then just go to the Stronghold webpage. But that's a really fun class if you want to work on push-ups and more body weight movement. Also doing Monday night yoga and meditation, so feel free to join that. It's a very easy, low-key class. Great way to start the week, or in my case, end the week. Yeah, thank you again. I'll stick around for a few minutes if you have questions. Let's see, David asks, what is the purpose or goal of doing all these exercises? So with this class, what I'm trying to do is give you like a smorgasbord of different exercises. And the ones that are more challenging to you are usually the ones that will be more beneficial to you in the long run. So I'm trying to not necessarily get to that point where you want to throw up and the next day you can't walk because you're so sore. I'm trying to throw a bunch of different things at your nervous system so that if you keep taking the class over time, you're going to have a much stronger neurological relationship with your core. What I find is when I was teaching at the climbing gym, the students that were coming to my class consistently, they were noticing that the work that they were doing in the class was translating to what they were doing on the climbing wall or doing in whatever activity it was that they were pursuing. So my goal is to give you a strong core, but it's also to teach you that brain-body connection, which is often missing from core classes. Usually it's like, let's do 8,000 crunches and then plank, 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 plank. The next day you can't walk and your body doesn't really understand what's going on. So trying to make that connection between the mind, the body, and also how the core relates to mobility. Yeah, so that's the purpose or goal. The other goal is to look good and, get fit. Good. Thank you, everybody. I'll stick around for another minute or two if anyone has questions. My mom wants me to let everyone know the purpose of the Monday class. Purpose of the Monday class is to relax. Yeah, it's a very easy beginner's yoga class. It's very mindful and meditative, so the idea is not to get super flexible or really dive deeply into the yoga practice. It's really about getting into the mind, relaxing the muscles. You can think of it as like a recovery yoga class. Also, if anyone who's been coming consistently, if there's anything that you want to work on, please let me know. You can just put that in the comment section. I'm happy to incorporate things into the class, new things, old things. Yeah, it's very malleable, so Let me know if there's anything you want to work on, or any tips or tricks, any advice, anything that, opinions, thoughts. I'm open. Well, thank you, Mom, for tuning in for the end. Something that will help with your tennis game. Okay. So I would say is we should do more rotational exercises and rotational hip exercises, right? Most sports involve being able to use your lower body to generate force, to take that force through your core, to amplify it, and then transfer it into your upper limbs, which are doing the more fine-tuned movements of the sport. I imagine tennis is probably similar to baseball in terms of the mechanics, in terms of you need to use your hips, have that transfer through your center, and then through your arms. We can also do some more wrist and elbow stuff. That will obviously be really, really helpful. Rock climbers and tennis players have a lot in common when it comes to elbow issues and wrist issues. Well, thank you again, everybody. Thank you, Angelique. Thank you, Jazz. Thank you, Rachel, Danae, AJ, Mom, Carly, Evie. Who did I miss? I feel like I missed someone. All right. Thank you, guys. I'm going to get off. Remember, if you want that free personal training session, go ahead and post a video or picture and tag me and hashtag #TheLoveGym. All right. Love you guys.